Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to AfterBuzz TV's Dishin' Days, where we will recap this week's episodes of NBC's hit soap opera, Days of Our Lives. Next.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Well, good afternoon, all you Days of Our Lives fans. Welcome to AfterBuzz TV's Dishin' Days, where we recap the full week of this week's episodes of Days of Our Lives.
Of Days of Our Lives.
I am your host, Tony Moore.
Tony Moore.
And I am joined by
The parakeet.
the parakeet himself. You do look like a parakeet.
I do.
With the hair and everything.
do. I planned it that way.
I just want to forewarn everyone, Mark J Freeman is off her meds.
Mark J Freeman is crazier than Abigail.
And
I was in the other room. They never showed it.
He has gone cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Yankee Doodle went to town, and we're talking about Mark J Freeman.
He did.
Speaking of,
Mark J Freeman in the house, drinking vodka.
and we have my other co-host who will fill in the adjectives that describes himself.
Handsome, funny. Matthew Evan Paine here, so happy to be here.
And of course, I'm your host, Tony Moore, because I think I said that at the beginning. And in the booth, we have the very beautiful and lovely Alexis. Hi, Alexis.
And Rocky. Don't forget about Rocky.
Yes.
Hi, Rocky. Now, wait, Alexis, I did not notice any sort of game, like...
No, I had a Sonic shirt that was coming in, but I went to a Filipino party and got pancit all over it, so that changed. But
there you have that.
the kimono that I'm wearing is
Kimono.
is a Japanese animation that I love. It's called Spirited Away. It's a pretty famous movie, got an Emmy, that kind of thing.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
Well, it's not
Kimono.
Mario Brothers.
Yeah,
so.
she had a little kimono.
That little shawl that I was running around in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kimono?
With
I
her-
don't
with
even know
Rocky.
her.
Oh, you get out, Matthew Evan Paine. You get out. Tony, weren't we talking about soaps?
Germany.
Days of
Yes.
Our Lives,
Yeah,
right?
let's go back to soaps.
Make sure you guys follow us on Instagram and Twitter. We're watching the opening. We're delayed on our feed. Instagram and Twitter, Dishin' Days, _Dishin' Days is Twitter, but Dishin' Days on Instagram. Dishin' Days Facebook. Our names are below in the lower third.
At Matthew E. Paine on Instagram and
We didn't
Twitter.
ask for that. It's below. It's down there.
I feel like you were very Vanna White just now.
Very Vanna White.
Yeah.
And please give us 5 stars on iTunes. And you, too, might be Fan of the
Tony.
Week if you do.
Not that Vanna White.
Vanna White.
Oh, you tried it. What are you trying to say? I'm Vanna Black?
No.
Is that what you're trying to say?
No, he wasn't that Vanna White about
Oh,
it.
you're talking about him.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Not all about you.
Alexis, was I
I was kind of on the same boat. I was like, what's happening?
He was like, Tony, not that Vanna White. And I was like,
like,
I beg your pardon, mister.
Like, excuse
You
me?
said, who am I, Vanna Black?
Well, speaking of black, we have a poll.
Wow.
Are we live?
I think we
should. are
Yes,
live.
you're live.
I think
So-
I saw a comic once who...
Can I have some of your vodka?
Yes,
No,
absolutely.
dear God, no.
Because you always joke about how comics have a transition to the next joke,
Yeah.
but his transition had nothing to do. Like, he'd be like, speaking of grocery stores, my sister was beaten the other day. You know what I mean? Like, it had nothing to do, but the whole set, he did it. And I was just like, I just remember being in tears, so that's kind of what that reminded me of. Anyways, speaking of black...
tears, we have 2 polls.
Speaking of black tears...
What's
black
happening?
Speaking of black and tears, we also have polls set up on our Twitter.
It has nothing to do with either.
We have a poll where we would like to find out if you prefer.
Don't lump me into any of this.
If you prefer Hope and Aiden's dance montage, you know, the slow dance at the fundraiser with the one eyebrow, or if you prefer Rafe and Blanca's dance montage where they did the salsa in the backyard of the house. Cha cha cha.
Is it the poll is in or it's ongoing?
It's
still?
ongoing right now, so
Okay.
you have about a little less than an hour left, and we'll give the results
Blanca.
right after this.
Blanca.
Blanca is a hot little tamale.
I like
Yes.
Blanca.
Yeah, me
I mean,
too.
we'll get to that later. But
Yeah.
I mean,
See, you also have a poll,
I had
too.
a poll. Hold on. I had a poll too, and I actually got the results in because I was kind of digging. I'm really digging Damos and Nicole.
There was one vote, and it was by Mark J.
And-
But
Freeman.
we're going to give those results later when we give the other
Oh,
polls.
well, it says poll.
Well, just for you to
Oh, we're just
announce
talking about it.
Just
Okay, well,
talking
my
about it.
results
Just
are in.
A little teaser.
So if you want to peek on
Little
Twitter,
teaser.
you can see how that won.
Little teaser. Little teaser
Are you
there.
still with us, Alexis?
Nope.
Matthew.
Oh, are we getting into it? Did I have something to say?
Yeah.
Where?
What'd you guys think about this week of days?
I have been waiting.
He's been waiting all
I've been
day.
waiting since Monday for you to ask this question.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Really?
I thought that this week started off with the Victor, Maggie. I thought that was Suzanne Rogers knows how to deliver, and I thought she did on Monday, and I was hooked all week. I couldn't
I have
wait.
something to say about that, about her. That anyway.
Go
Yeah.
ahead,
So
talk about
well, no, that's all. That's all. I'll wait. I'll save mine for
when we
the
get
moment.
into it.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought this week was all right, but
Just all right.
There were definitely moments
There were great
where
moments.
I was engaged, and then there were moments that I went to get the pizza rolls.
yeah.
You know how sometimes, typically, Fridays are like the best day to watch just because there's all the cliffhangers. This week for me, Monday was the best episode, and I just couldn't wait for the rest of the week. I thought it started so strong, and I'm happy with it. So,
All right. Well, it's time to start.
Dishin' Days.
Ba-da-bam.
like sands through the hourglass.
Thank you, Alexis.
All right, well, let's get
I
right
love
in.
seeing Allison Sweeney's signature on there.
Me
right?
too.
And Deidre Halls is back here
Well, I can see her now because it's all
on your
it's
side.
got a white background and the black ink.
And our friend Jen Lilly, who is not feeling well, we
Yes.
send you a speedy recovery, Jen. Come see us when you're feeling better.
Did you see what I tweeted her yesterday?
What'd you say?
Somebody had put out a picture of her in the park sleeping.
Yeah.
So I tweeted it to her and I was like,
I did
there
see
will
that.
be no sleeping at work on Sunday.
Yes. Well, yeah.
She was like, fine, I'm not coming
Yes,
in.
yeah, okay, fine. If I
I'll
can't
show
sleep there,
you.
I'm going to sleep at home.
I'm so sorry. I totally forgot about that. Jen did text me over the weekend, and she said, I'm really sorry. I've been fighting this sickness for like 5 weeks, and every time I get better, I push myself and I get worse.
Yeah.
And so both her and Meredith decided that they will wait and postpone their visit because it'll be great for them to come together.
They want to be 100%.
Yeah, and they want to be 100% ready for you guys. So
And we are not trying to get sick over here at Dishin' Days.
exactly. And thank you guys, all of the fans of Dishin' Days. Once she posted that she was sorry that she had to cancel, everyone just gave their well wishes for her to get better and everything like that. So continue to do that. Jen, we love you. Thank you so much. Meredith, we love you. And we can't wait to have you guys here in the studio. Now, the biggest story that's happened this week, Kate Damos, Nicole, and Chloe. So this week, the part that I have been waiting for was the conversation between Nicole and Chloe. And I love that Nicole basically filled Chloe in on what was happening with her. And Chloe was able to reveal that to Damos. And I love that Nicole came to the
log cabin.
And Damos revealed herself to. I love the storyline this week. I love the whole progression of it. That was the one storyline that I was uber excited about because everything that I wanted to happen happened.
Okay,
for it.
I really like this storyline. I am finding it hard to find any fireworks between Damos and Chloe. And I feel like for Chloe, she's making the stakes between her and Damos so high, and I don't see any sort of connection with them. And I feel like she's not being a good friend to Nicole. Like, obviously, it's a soap opera, so the reveal has to come later. Right. But I think that the longer she waits, it's only going to blow up in her face. And I think that from history's point of view, it's not going to be good for Chloe.
Well, I think one of the things that probably will help with that, and I'm pretty sure we're going to continue to see whatever it was, the relationship that Chloe and Damos had. So I think as you get more information about that, it may draw you in. The thing that kind of makes me go, I'm not sure, is because Damos flip-flops way too much for me. Like, at first he was all about Kate, and then he was all about Nicole, then he was all about Chloe, and now it's all about Nicole. And I'm like, at some point, you have to, like, pick someone to really focus on.
So we know what your true intention is this entire time.
Yeah.
And I feel like his number one is Nicole.
But then don't play Chloe. Because before Nicole got there, he was all like, let's run away together with Parker and be a family. And then it's like, but Nicole, I told you how I felt. You have to tell me how you truly feel about me in order for me to return to Salem.
See, and when Vincent was here, Vincent was saying that Deimos has a heart. And sometimes
That's a big heart.
Sometimes I don't think so. Sometimes I think that he doesn't really have a heart, because if you truly loved Nicole, who looks like Helena, then make Nicole really your number one. Don't have sex with Kate. Don't have sex with Chloe.
Do you think he's an in-the-moment type of person?
Well, clearly.
You need to find the right moment.
I want to know what the fans think. Just saying. Call in.
How about what I think?
Well, did you have a point?
I do. That was the one part about this week that I really enjoyed. I'm loving Deimos and Nicole. Am I supposed to talk about my poll now?
Please don't.
Or later? Because it has to do with us. Do you want me to do it now?
Sure.
Okay. Because I did a poll, because we talked about this when Xander came to town. We all loved how he loved Nicole. Like, he was just like, she's hot. I need to know this girl. I'm going to follow her. I'm going to stalk her. And that's the thing I think that I'm loving so much about the Deimos and Nicole storyline, is that I love that he loves her so much, regardless of whether it's an association to Helena or not. I'm kind of over that. I don't really care. But I really liked it. And that was the part that I found myself very engaged in and wanting to see more. I was actually, I think, got home the other night. I think it was Friday, and I was like, I had to watch Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So I was like, I better get one of these in tonight before I go to bed. So, and I ended up watching all three, which I thought was a good sign. I drifted a few times, but the one thing that I kept wanting to see more of was that storyline, and the one thing that I really kind of. Again, these are the moments that I really live for and I love on days when they happen, is when Andre comes in and tells Kate he saw Deimos with Nicole. And I was like, oh, I didn't see that happening.
I wish
see that. You know what I mean? Either, so that I liked. I liked when there's something that happens that I didn't see happening. Because I totally thought it was going to be, we're going to pull the wool over Kate and trick her. So I'm kind of intrigued now to see where this will go.
But that foils Deimos' plan. I wish that Andre hadn't told Kate that he's
Well, I do
alive.
that, but I also appreciate it because it put a little twist on it that I wasn't expecting.
I just wish they had an opportunity to one-up Kate.
Well, it doesn't mean that they won't. It doesn't mean that they won't.
Well, I don't think that it was a way to foil Deimos' plan, but for Andre to gain trust with Kate. Because he's broken
he had
lonely.
none.
Right.
Yeah.
And
it's
Kate,
not...
and Kate is rich and lonely.
Yeah.
So Andre is trying to weasel his way in with Kate, and Kate is kind of like, what you want?
I thought, and Matthew has proven me wrong, that Andre was going to be the disaster moment of the week in that blue suit.
That blue, like 19.
I literally, because he came in like in the suit the first time, and I remember like I was texting or tweeting or something, and I just kind of out of the corner of my eye, and I was one of those woohoo.
Yeah.
And I had to rewind, and I was like, did the person make a comment when he came in about the suit, like to justify this? I was like, girl, that is a blue suit. Yeah.
I love what...
But it's not the disaster moment. It's my disaster moment of the week.
I love what Lee Davenport... I love what Lee Davenport Jerd said. She said, I've decided Deimos is an emotionally stunted man-child, but that doesn't mean I don't like him. I think he's a bit emotionally stunted.
But I do, yeah, and I do agree with what you said. And I kind of said this when he was here. I'm like, girl, you got to pick one.
Yeah.
You've been, like, and I really don't like the fact that if he loves Nicole so much and is going to do so much for her, why did he sleep with Chloe? Again. Right. You know what I mean? Like,
was his plan not to return back to Salem?
No, I think he was going to go back to Salem, but I agree with you on that. And I don't really understand the justification with, like, when he was trying to convince Nicole that he wasn't going to marry Kate, yet he told her, I'm still gonna marry her, but I love you. Like it just that to me just I didn't make sense to me either. So, but I do like the storyline. I do like it.
I do too.
And I like that they're the ones that are involved in it.
I like the different elements of it. I just hope and pray that they don't like put like Chloe and Nicole against each other for the love of Deimos. Like I don't want to see that happen. I think their friendship has come such a long way, and they've gotten over a lot of stuff, and they're in a good place. I would hate to see that kind of destroyed. So that's my take on it. Well, let's find out what you guys feel about this storyline. Make sure you give us a call at 424-253-0749. Again, that's 424-253-0749, and weigh in on the Kate, Deimos, Nicole, Chloe storyline. Are you liking it? Are you digging it?
Oh.
Do you like where it's going? Did you like the things that happened this week? Tell us about it right here, live on AfterBuzz TV's Edition Days.
So I never said the poll. So I did the poll, saying I was so happy that Deimos is after Nicole. It's about time that there's somebody that's hot after Nicole. Agree or disagree? 71% agreed with me.
That someone's hot after Nicole?
That they like that somebody's hot after Nicole. I mean, obviously it's somebody who doesn't know her well. But.
Well, he may not know her well, but I mean, goodness gracious. They're
I like it. I'm totally content with it. And I shout out to Ari Zucker. Looked amazing.
She always does.
Bombshell.
Girl, I kept forgetting I was going to tweet her throughout the whole episode. I was like, girl.
You were too involved in those pizza rolls.
Diggity.
She's bombshell.
Well, let's take this caller and find out
maybe it's Ari Zucker.
who they...
Wouldn't that be fun?
That would be fun.
Hi, guys.
Hello, caller. Welcome to AfterBuzz TV's Edition Days. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Hi, Tony. It's Monty.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, I'm doing fine. Hi, Matt.
Hey.
Hi, Mark.
Hello.
So how did you feel about this week's storyline with Kate, Deimos, and...
I was confused about something.
What's that?
Dario and Nicole were in that coffee house, and they were talking about Deimos. Why was Dario trying to convince Nicole that Deimos is not a good person?
Because...
I never understood that.
Well, that was because he thought that Deimos had pulled the wool over Nicole's eyes, like that he wasn't going he wasn't going to actually come back to Salem. I think Dario thought maybe it was a little fishy, so that's why he kind of felt like I don't know. And then
I
shortly,
liked it when Deimos did come back and talk to Nicole in the park.
yeah. No, well, yeah. I mean, he's fulfilled his promise. He came back to Salem, but what he's gonna do once he gets in is a completely different story.
Another story.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for calling in as always, and stay tuned because we have a whole lot more to talk about.
I will. Thank you.
Thank
Tony.
you for
Thank
calling.
you.
Okay,
Thanks.
bye, Mark.
Bye.
Matt.
Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, and
Most people in here are saying that they think that it should be Deimos and Nicole.
yeah.
Yep.
I mean, I think so too, but maybe the twist could be that we learn more about him and Chloe, and then we all get confused.
I think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be Chloe and Philip. Personally,
Really?
Yeah.
Philip needs to get
because I
together,
think
but
Parker's
we'll talk
Willie
about that
Phillips.
later.
I think Parker's Willie Phillips.
You think that's gonna happen too? Okay.
How else is he that? How else is he a platinum blonde?
I don't know.
Because the D word, he isn't.
Who?
I'm not saying his name
Who?
because he's not on the show.
Well, you
anymore.
have to clarify for
No,
our
they know
fans who
who
you're talking
they
about.
know who I mean.
I don't think they know who you mean,
They know
Mark.
that
Who's
man.
the D word?
That
What?
man that got killed in the car accident.
Which man? There have been so many men that got killed in a car accident. And they 50 years of days. Which one are you talking
We'll
about?
have to figure it out.
Oh, how dare you leave our fans that
I'll
way?
tweet it later.
You know what? I think anytime you mention him, we need a sign, and it's just his name, and then you put it down.
Can we get a wah 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 from you, Alexis? When every time I say his name.
But you actually
Sure.
you
But I
have
have to say
to
his name.
say it.
Do
So
you-
you
wait,
let me
do-
know.
do you-
No, I'm ready
So
whenever you are.
who are you talking about?
Daniel. Thank you.
Alexis.
If you do that every time I say his name or the daughter, Melanie, I will say it 800 times an episode.
Oh dear God.
I don't know about that. I'm like,
Alexa's like, I ain't got no.
If
My
that-
finger will do it 3 times, and that's
That's it.
If that happens, then can we always censor him when he says Billy Flynn or Chad?
I need to. Oh.
Can I get applause when I say Billy Flynn? Billy Flynn!
I'll figure out another.
Oh my God.
thing to play. It'll be funny.
But that was an interesting thing that our last caller just brought up was that little. First of all, Nicole, no one can hold water in Salem. Why is it that normally when you tell someone don't tell anyone, you go okay, and you keep it to yourself. Every time in Salem, someone says don't tell anyone, okay. So how about I just found it? Like, you can't do that.
Well, I thought when you said hold water, you meant go to the bathroom.
No. Oh, well, that's a southern thing. When you say hold water, it's like, like you hold like
okay.
something that you find out about yourself.
Break water. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Nicole told Dario that Deimos was alive, and and Dario's all like, let's go to the police and blah blah blah. I'm like, no. And Deimos has this whole plan of like how he wants to be revealed because he's trying to get revenge on Kate, and then he wasn't going to reveal himself, and now he is. It's just a whole big mess. Just walk into the mansion and say, look, bitch, I'm alive.
Do you think he's going to give Victor the business and money back?
He mentioned mentioned that he had a change of heart. Like he said that
Nicole's
something
kind of I never thought I'd say this. Nicole is softening him up. Nicole actually is becoming a nice person. So
Interesting.
I hope that's not the end of Bad Nicole, but I think he will. I think he's going to give it back.
Yeah. All right.
I just wish they would have put Victor and Maggie like in like some really ratchety.
I don't mean to interrupt, but Annie in the chat wanted to let Tony know that Annie likes your shirt, Tony.
Oh, thank you. I was trying to be very patriotic.
Yeah, very patriotic.
Yes,
I didn't even think
thought-
to do that.
No, neither did I. But I know that
I have
she
red, white, and
asked
blue underwear.
specifically. Well, there you go.
Well, thank
Kidding.
you, Annie. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. So, yeah, I think that pretty much it with that storyline, and we'll just see how it develops. Everyone's now in Salem now because now Chloe and Parker are in Salem and walked into the square and saw a drunk Philip. And was
Who,
like,
I'm
"Hello."
sorry, I was just going to give it to him for being drunk Philip because I could not stop laughing. I couldn't. Oh, we'll get to it.
Yes. All right, well, and that's it.
I have things to say about that too.
Was that almost your disaster?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
No. Do you want to know what my almost disaster was? Because we're still in that storyline. Kate's broken thumbnail. Did anyone notice
I
it?
didn't know that.
Oh my God.
I love her nails.
Did you see it?
I live for
I
her
didn't
nails.
know. I didn't see it.
She had 9 beautiful nails, and then this one was just.
Lauren Kozlow, I apologize in advance for my colleague pointing out the fact that your nail was broke. That's just rude.
Thank you, Mark.
She
You
is
you
still
can
the
tell
queen
she was
bee.
like trying to cover it.
I know.
Tucking it in. I didn't notice. I
Yeah.
would look at her nails the whole time. I never noticed.
She was like flipping through a file.
I think the only person's nails I do pay attention to now
Our
is
hopes.
Hope's.
Oh, I can't.
Yeah.
Moving on. Next storyline. Go ahead.
Thank you for
can't.
the permission to
I
move
can't.
on, Mark.
I can't.
The next storyline is Brady, Summer, Teresa, and Clark's sister.
Janet is her name.
Is that her name?
Alakarat. I don't know if I'm saying that right.
Probably not, because Alakarat doesn't sound right.
Alakarat is her real name, the actress's name, and Janet is the character's name.
Okay. Miss Janet, if you're nasty.
Yeah.
I heard that today. It's a good song.
It is a good song.
Yeah.
But when is Summer leaving? By the way,
I don't know.
Not soon.
Why,
and not
are
the
you,
season, the character.
Are you ready for her to go?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
I just don't care.
Well, tell
No.
us how you feel about
Grab a
this, Mark.
suitcase, Marie Wilson.
and it's nothing
Did-
against Marie Wilson, and I know that Martha
but-
had a issue with us, but has nothing to do with the actress. I just don't care. In my opinion, the character was brought in to replace, get ready Alexis, Daniel. Oh, you. Okay, I was like, now don't toy with me.
No, sorry. I was doing something.
And it's just, there's no point to it. I just
wish I could swear. Like, I just have things to say. I don't care
Say what you
either.
wanna say.
No, I can't.
I can mute it if I hear it coming on.
What kind of explicit are you trying to say?
The F
I feel-
word.
Oh no, you can't say that. I feel like whatever.
I'll hit something.
Yeah.
No, it's okay. You don't
I
need
feel
to.
like whatever
I just
they say
don't
in daytime,
care.
you can say.
I just don't care.
Well,
Please
okay.
fudge.
So here's my thought about the storyline, because you guys know how I feel about the character of Summer. I feel like they aren't utilizing her as they should. With this particular storyline,
This is what needs to happen. You know how when Blanca came on, like instantly you were drawn in and you wanted to know more about her? Mm-hmm. Not the case with Summer. No. Like Summer came on and I almost didn't like it instantly. I loved the idea. Oh, and by the way, playing off of that, how come, or why, as it were, why isn't Brady having any more visions through Daniel's heart? Like, that was the only one. It was Summer, and then that happened, and then no more of the visions.
I think the way they explained it was that was Daniel's way of trying to communicate with Brady that this was something that he started and it needs to finish.
Okay, and it needs to finish.
Who wants my heart when I'm dead?
Not I.
Me.
Not I.
Mark.
Thank you,
I
Alexis.
have an idea. I think maybe
It'll
Billy
draw
Flynn.
you to
Billy
Billy.
Flynn, do you want my heart?
He's already got it.
Well, this week it seems like with Summer she just can't catch a break because she's getting yelled at by Victor, for trying to assist Maggie. Teresa is really giving it to her.
I think Teresa's getting sick.
What do you mean?
Like, we know that she's leaving the show, and like all this talk about her not looking well and tired, I feel like is setting up that something's wrong with Teresa.
Oh,
sorry, that was a prediction. I should have waited till the end.
I didn't think that. I just thought that she's running herself ragged, not only with like DJ wear, but now wedding preparations and the baby. Like there's just a lot going on.
Well, I mean, we'll see.
I didn't think about that.
I
didn't think about the fact that Teresa could be sick when I watched it, but that's a really good. I mean, you don't just fall asleep in the park.
It's just, yeah. I say that it was a significant thing. It wasn't just like, girl, you look rough. Let's go. You know what I mean? Like, it's been talked about a couple times.
Well, I'm sorry, but I fell asleep in Central Park because I was tired. Like, I remember I was up at the crack of dawn doing a lot of stuff in New York. We sat down in Central Park, and I was like...
Sitting upright?
Yeah.
Wow.
I was tired.
Oh, girl, wait till you get to be my age. I fall asleep sitting up all the time.
But
I used to laugh at my mom, and now I'm doing it. Anyway.
Oh, well, and also Brady and Teresa set their wedding day for August 15th. I love that they're very specific with these dates.
And they're so good. I love that they are able to, I mean, obviously they've been doing it long enough, but...
Yeah. But no one cares about their wedding. Like, Victor's like, I won't be in attendance. And
Victor was ruthless to her in the park.
Yes.
Ruthless.
Yeah.
Like, I was waiting for a quote of the week. I mean, some of it was good, but it was just like, nothing profound. But, and I still don't really understand why the whole, like, I just don't get, like, now the whole conversation with Summer and Maggie about Brady, that she really is in love with Brady, and it's like...
I have to just jump ahead a little bit because we were going to talk about them later, but Maggie was very upset, and she pretty much told Victor, you have to stop talking to Summer and Teresa and Brady like that. It's not right. It's not okay. It's not right. But it's okay. And she is putting her foot down. No, she's putting her foot down about the way that he's treating everybody.
Where you were going with that.
She's putting her foot down, saying it's not okay to treat people this way, and he walks out with his tail between his legs, feeling awful, and then he bumps into Teresa, and he's still an ass.
Listen, a
Can
leopard.
we say ass?
Yeah, a leopard can't change his stripes from like the house to the park. Like that's not gonna happen.
But
I don't even know anymore why he's upset with Teresa. I mean, there's whatever it is happened so long ago that I honestly, as a fan, I don't even remember.
Well,
I think
he almost killed.
He reminds you. This is the same girl that took a fire poker and almost killed
John,
yeah.
and then
Brady's father.
Blamed Brady for it.
Yeah.
If Brady's willing to get over it, and they have a kid together, and he's in love, and they have a wedding date.
We're talking about Victor.
Yeah, but Victor needs to get over it. This girl, you know what? I like that.
Victor is his own person. He's like, I'm not going to get over nothing.
Well, at the risk of losing Maggie, maybe he should reconsider.
Well, maybe.
And I was proud of Teresa that she pretty much was like, if you're going to come for me, come for me. But you better do the job right or I will kill you.
Yeah. Oh, well. A little harsh.
I would love to point out something that I kind of rewound and watched again, and I wish something was said so that it could have been my quote of the week. Because this is so horrible, but I'm sorry, I have to say it, was when, who was it? Was it when Summer left and Brady was on the couch with Maggie, and like she went to go, and I was like, and he was like, no, and I was like, girl, she can't walk. I wanted him to go ahead. Go get her.
Well, she was about to. Her wheelchair was there.
That was
She was about to push herself up and just slide into the wheelchair and go. That's what was gonna happen.
I'm sorry. It was just so funny to me because I was like, girl, she can't walk.
Well,
what are you stopping her from?
Speaking of that whole conversation, which kind of started because, as Mark just pointed out, Janet, who is Clark's sister, who is the guy that was killed from a headbang against a dresser in a hotel.
Happens every day.
Brady paid off for Summer. Brady kind of feels like now that they've been completely conned this whole time, and especially after talking to John, who met with Janet, Clark's sister, because he's missing. She doesn't know where he is, and is kind of enlisting the help of John to, Black Patch to find out
where he is.
And right off the bat, you know what I don't understand? Why is it that right off the bat people lie? Because Summer's like, I haven't seen him. I don't know why I haven't seen him. He's not here. And Janet's like, but this address and a flight to Salem was purchased. What do you mean you haven't seen him? Yeah, I haven't seen him. You could have easily said, listen, he got here. I owed him money. I paid him. Haven't seen him since. Then guess what? You're in the clear.
And don't you think there are surveillance cameras in the lobby of the hotel that maybe saw that she was in the building at the same time that he was in the building? They really need a new police department.
If Salem PD is on it, then it's going to be a while before they discover that.
Then a new show called Unsolved Mysteries.
Yeah. Well,
I like the actress that plays Janet, so
me too.
I'm kind of hoping that she sticks around a little bit longer.
Yep.
Yeah.
She was on Another World when I first soap opera.
That was your first soap opera?
Mm-hmm.
Well, how do you guys feel
Days of Our
about this
Lives was my
storyline?
first soap opera.
And mine too, and my only soap opera. So you guys call in, let us know what you guys feel about the Brady, Teresa, Summer, Maggie, Victor storyline at 424-253-0749. 424-253-0749. We would love to hear your thoughts on this particular storyline. Are you feeling it? Are you liking it? Are you like Brady and want Summer to leave?
Marlon Wallace says, where was Paul? He works for John. Great point, Marlon. Another storyline that they killed, I think, which I was looking forward to,
I don't think they killed it.
was him being brainwashed. I need to see Bad Paul. I need to see Bad Paul. I cannot wait. Like, that looked like it was going to be so good, and it died before it started.
I need to see brainwashed, bad, gay Paul. That's who I need to see.
I mean, I'm kind of glad that they didn't do it because it was, in my opinion, kind of really dumb.
What, the brainwash?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Well, no one cares about that storyline, so we're going to keep going.
Yeah.
What's next? Oh, God.
Okay. So, what else could we talk about? I mean, if we had to pick another storyline that we should
And now it's time for our segments. Oh, actually, before we move on, we do have a caller that wants to weigh in. Hello, caller. Welcome to AfterBuzz TV's Dishing Days. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Hey, everybody. It's Jamel calling from Brooklyn.
Hi, Jamel.
Hey, Jamel. How are you?
Jamel.
I'm doing good.
Good. So how are you feeling about this Brady, Teresa, Summer storyline?
I think that, I'm not really enjoying it. I'm not really enjoying it. I'm sad that Jen Lindley's going to be leaving soon, too. So that I'm just sort of, just bewildered what they're doing with the character. But I was calling because I'm watching the show, and I love what you just said, Mark, about Maggie in the wheelchair. Now, I don't laugh at people in real life with wheelchairs. Absolutely not.
But no, absolutely not. But I think you know what I mean. Yeah.
But you're right, though, with the lady is telling the people off, and then she's just trying to zoom off, away from the people with the wheelchair. I laugh, too.
Thank you. I'm not alone.
I laugh, too. It reminds me of, I'm not sure if people get it, it reminds me of Out in the Field. On that show, people would have different disabilities, and they could tell the people off. And you just had to watch them while they tried to get away, and it was hysterical. So so that part with the wheelchair is hysterical. And also, I agree with Matt what he said about Victor. He was just too over the line, with Teresa. I mean, it's like, damn, it's over already. You don't have to keep going after this girl.
Yeah.
If John is he's the one that was almost near dead. And if he can get over it, then Victor needs to get over it too. Plus, he got a bigger fish to fry.
High blood pressure at that age, Victor, is not good for anybody.
Yeah.
No, it's not. I mean, he got to deal with Kate and his marriage and everything. To be sitting around worried about Teresa, it just seems it doesn't feel authentic to Victor. And maybe maybe it's not him. It's just the writing. It doesn't feel like because Victor is more on point of what is the real threat, and Teresa's not a real threat. So it just feels not very authentic to his character.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he just dislikes Teresa.
He doesn't have his mansion, so I'm gonna give him a break.
Well, yeah. Well,
I think that to me, I think John Anderson, he probably don't have the writers. That's what's happening. They gotta give this man something a little more substantial than to sit around and that that little hole that they put him in, and they go back and forth the same script all the time.
Yeah.
He's more dynamic than that, and they need to give him more. They didn't. Now look what they did to Stefano, and he's gone.
Yeah.
So I'm like, damn, what they trying to do to him too? That's crazy.
yeah. Well, thank you for always calling in and weighing in on these storylines, Jamel. We appreciate it all the way from Brooklyn, New York.
Brooklyn. Well, I'm not Italian. I'm black, but I'm. No. Yes, I'm calling from Brooklyn, and I love the show. I tweet y'all, but I don't get no response back.
No, I haven't really been on in a while. So I mean, I am, but I haven't been interacting more. But I will. I promise.
I just always go through and like and retweet.
What is
stuff.
your Twitter, Jamal?
Oh, it's UCAN353. I'll tweet you again.
Yeah, tweet me again. Okay.
Make sure to include all of us, because if you
I don't know that I've
tag
ever
me
seen it.
normally, I try and like all of them.
Yeah.
If they're
I
appropriate.
tweet each other. I've been loving Kate's scenes, and
Yeah.
her and what Andre had a scene where they wanted to burn down Salem. I said, now how they talk about this after Game of Thrones burned down the town? Okay, so after I was tweeting y'all, I said I got to tweet this to them. They probably would get the gist of it, and so that was what I did. But yeah, I love that scene. Because after Game of Thrones was huge,
Yeah.
and then that Monday they said we would have burned down Salem. So no, they did not. No, they didn't. Okay,
It's like they knew something was coming.
Yes.
Cool. Well, thank you so much again for calling in, and keep watching because we have so much more to talk about, and we're about to get to Mark's favorite part in like 1 second.
That's okay. That's okay.
All right. Take care.
All right. Bye.
Thank you. I just saw in here, Willow wrote this. When I know they're shifting, that they're trying to like get some of this closer. They're not the 5-month spread anymore.
Yeah.
Do we know when it's going to be the 3 to 4 week filming?
I don't know.
You know what I mean? Does that make sense? I don't know how to phrase that.
Yeah, I don't know where this is coming from because I feel like they're on their regular schedule.
I think they're closer to spreading it because they've had. I mean, how many times? I mean, Billy will say, I'm on break. We're off this week. You know what I mean? Like you can tell that they're taking more weeks off.
Yeah.
To get. So I think it's going to start happening. I'm curious to know when that'll be. So good question, Willa. I don't know.
Well, let's take one more little small break
find out.
and talk to this fan and find out what they thought about the Brady, Teresa, all them storyline. Hello, caller. Welcome to AfterBuzz TV's Edition Days. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hi there, it's Mike Riley from New York. How's everyone?
Oh. We were just talking about you, Mike Riley. That's interesting that you should call.
Were you?
Yes.
Well, Mike,
before we get into all that, can I just give my little opinion about Summer?
Of course.
Okay, great. I'm hoping that they kind of realize that they made a big mistake with Summer, and they rewrite Brady's dreams more as a warning that he had to stop Summer because she really is the Cindy character, and Maggie's daughter does exist.
It's just not.
Summer knew about it and is impersonating her daughter. Once they find that out, they can get rid of her, and hopefully later on, they can bring Maggie's real daughter on the show. And really, what I would really love is if they would cast her with Sarah Brown, who played Madison.
Oh yeah.
Character.
You're not mad at that.
Leaving, we can kind of have a Madison by way of Maggie's daughter reunion with Brady, since Teresa will be off the show. That's what I would really like to see happen.
Look at you, Mike, being a day's writer.
Mike, interesting.
That's a good one.
So in the time that you're not spent harassing me for my love of a Billy, this is what you're thinking about?
I'm sorry, is your husband on the other line?
Mike and I have had some.
How did you escape from the dungeon last week when I was in the Demir's dungeon? That was supposed to be a long-term thing.
You.
Well, how was I in the Demira dungeon?
That's where
Yeah,
Mike.
you weren't on Dishing Days last week, so
Yeah.
I led a little trail to the room. I thought that's where you were.
I don't share my secrets.
Oh yeah, you
I
were
was
gone
ready to
last week.
dress up like I was going to do a whole Kristen Susan Banks thing. I was going to dress up like Mark, go to Billy's house. If that didn't work, I would dress up like Lorraine Love. I would never
You got it all planned out.
This.
I do.
I feel like we
All right.
now live in our own soap opera. Where
Just
The
realizing
fans are like,
that
what's
now.
going
yeah,
on?
Yeah.
well, because like Mike, I was telling Mark that about our conversations back and forth and who loves Billy more,
And I was like, who's Mike Riley?
Yeah.
I never heard of him.
yeah, and so I have a feeling that we now have our triangle in our little soap.
I mean, it's a
here.
little lopsided because Billy clearly loves me more.
Yeah, no, Billy's like, there's no triangle because I'm straight and high.
Oh, there we go. Perfect. See, I like that kind of competition. Although Billy's
Right,
straight
right.
too. So.
No, he's saying that Billy's straight.
Oh.
Yeah,
Mike-
Billy's straight.
Yeah, Mike is competition for you because as he told us last
Oh,
week,
I
he
actually
doesn't
thought
swing
Mike
from the same
said
frame.
Mike was straight.
I thought Mike was saying he's straight.
No.
Uh-huh.
Mike
Mark and I were like,
Even
girl.
I knew that.
Yeah, because Mike clarified that during a call last time where I said, oh, someone in the chat room said that you were
It was our
handsome.
Melvin fan.
Yeah, and it was like, oh, thank you, but I don't think we swing from the same vine. And I was like, oh, let me pick up this cup of tea here that was spilled. So,
you can't lead people on.
right,
Yeah.
this is true. Well, Mike, you are more than welcome to always call in to rival our co-host here, Mark J Freeman, and find out who
I will.
loves Billy more.
As long as it's
All right.
tasteful, because I will
Gentlemen,
hang
you
up
have a
on
great
you.
evening.
Only
Thank you.
tasteful.
You too, Mike.
Thank you, Mike.
Bye, Mike.
Bye-bye.
That's a perfect segue into our next.
Brought to you by Mike Flynn.
Doesn't even sound good.
But Mark Flynn does.
Mark James Freeman Flynn. I'm hyphenating.
Wow. Okay, we're moving on.
Either way, the initials are MF. So
And I know. I
Perfectly
teased as a
describes
child.
someone to
I
me.
was teased
Very
as a
nice.
child. You're bringing
You
back
like
horrible
that.
memories.
So we were going to talk about Chad, JJ, Jen, and Abigail.
Yes.
I just had to do it. Someone had to get there.
He's just so good.
who Casey Moss, as absolutely he is wonderful as JJ, and I love the fact that he's out there searching for Abigail.
I like how Chad lately, no matter who it is, he's
Who?
like, I'd like to be alone now.
Yeah.
Oh. And
He said it to Andre. He said it to JJ.
Do you think that he's talking about like?
Spending time with me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. See, our scenes aren't aired. So you just see. That's why some stuff doesn't make sense.
Days of Our Lives After Dark.
Yeah.
I was just about to say that.
Exactly. So that's why you're like, why is he saying that? It's because my scenes with him don't get aired. I don't know why.
Thank God.
I don't know why. It's mystifying.
This
to me.
show has jumped the shark.
Well,
So Abigail's gone. She
Yes.
snuck out the window, and she's gone. Like
gone.
Kate's off
gone.
the show.
I don't like that they ended it that way. I don't
mind,
like it.
I don't mind that she went out the window. That doesn't bother me. I actually thought it was kind of even clever. I didn't understand how she knew that guy was going to get upset about the Bible. That kind of was like, what?
I think. Well,
Observation, yeah.
observing people like, and especially
Yeah.
being in the Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs farm, like you kind of know people, and that was his thing. That was his trigger. That's
Like, she knew
his
him?
piece. Well, I mean, I'm sure she observed
she
him
probably
throughout.
knew that he would go.
So you're covering for her.
Well, she knew that
Basically.
he was gonna go ape.
Because he sat and was
Dude.
reading the Bible?
Well, no, because
No.
that's his Bible.
It's his Bible, and she
thing.
probably-
Had we
knows.
seen him before that?
No,
Use
but
your imagination, I think, is what was going on
Yeah, well,
at that point.
no,
She was
whatever.
like, oh, if I
was like,
take
I
the
don't get it.
Bible, he's going to lose his mind.
because the way that he even interacted with the Bible, it was kind of like, I'm going to place this here. I know
Yep.
that I'm placing it here. I'll be right
Yep,
back for it, and then walked away.
My very special sacred Bible
Yes.
I'm putting right
But
here.
if it was your very special sacred Bible, would you leave it? I'm just saying.
Don't you leave Billy Flynn? Exactly.
Not in my heart.
Whoop.
Check, please.
Other thing I don't understand, and this kind of this I think was last week, so I just didn't get to voice my opinion on it. But
Because you weren't
with
here.
the mask,
Oh, you
was
did.
that this week or last
Because
week?
he
That was
wasn't
last week.
here.
But,
Oh, that's right.
But which week was it that it actually came off for a scene
Last
and then it
week.
went back on? Was that last week?
Last week.
I don't get that.
No one understands the mask. I thought it was a transition so that we forget what Kate Mansi was like.
I was thinking
and
that too, so I
Yeah.
didn't understand it, and then they took it off, so I was like, okay, it's off. But then it was back on. So that kind of was annoying. But I mean, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with the whole storyline. I'm okay how she left.
You are a lot today.
I like that we're seeing more Jennifer. I like the interaction between Jennifer and Chad.
Yes. They kind of dropped the pill storyline, but okay.
Well,
She's
she's
in recovery.
She's in rehab. Remember with Jack? When she saw Jack?
Oh.
She's in rehab now.
Pizza rolls.
Yeah.
He's our very own Soap Opera Digest today.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, of course I love it. Of course I love that. Other thing that I really loved was that Chad and JJ were like, we should check the tunnel. I was like, I just love that they did that. Like,
I want to
they
see the
acknowledged
tunnel.
that.
Like, I want them to. They finally did on All My Children years ago. They finally brought you into the tunnel in the Chandler Mansion. I just want to go into the tunnel.
It reminds me of. Did you watch Santa Barbara? Either of you? Okay,
But it's
kind
before
of.
my time.
So there was the Capos and the Lockridges, and they were enemies, but they lived next door to each other, and there was a tunnel that connected their homes. So that's what every time I think of this, that's what I think of, and I love Santa Barbara. So,
But it seems like to me that JJ and Chad don't trust each other because.
I think JJ doesn't trust Chad. I don't think that it's vice versa.
Oh, well, I don't think. Well, either JJ nor Jen trust Chad for whatever reason, and I there was a moment where I was like, I don't know where this is coming from because.
I think
they
because
don't
he's been
have a
so
reason.
secretive.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
He's going to get to the bottom of this if he has to break the lie. That's why I think he's being a little bit dismissive of JJ.
Yeah.
And Jennifer's her mom, and she's like, we're hanging on to hope. And Chad's like, it's not about
And
hope.
I do think that he would have done something had she not escaped. I think he was planning on doing something, like getting her out of there.
Well, yeah, because remember Andre was like, this was last week. He was like, I just want to remind you that she's wearing a mask.
Yeah. Yeah. That's almost like, yeah, thank you. That was.
Oh wait, do it again so I can do my soap opera face.
Looked like your normal face to me.
I was gonna say the same thing.
But my eyes were a little squinty.
Yes, I noticed
Your
that.
eyes were always a little squinty. You
See, I
smoke a
didn't
lot
say
of
that.
dope.
Why? Cause I'm black. You know what? That's always my go-to thing. When anyone says you just like, why? Cause I'm black. It's just a joke, people. It's just a joke. It's okay. All right. So yeah. So anyway, they're now just on the search for Abigail. So
When is new Abigail coming to town?
it's gonna be.
Oh, it's gonna be a while. 5 months at least.
Yeah, it's gonna be a while. Yeah.
Right? It's gonna be 4 to 5 months.
I
Obviously.
am devastated and heartbroken that Kate Mansi's leaving, but I am so excited to see this new Abby.
I am too. And yeah, I don't want to say something
I'm
because I don't know if it was on
never
air.
excited for a recast. I've never loved the recast
You know why?
because the originals are better.
You're not a fan. Just open arms. Just let people in.
I don't know. Some of them I mean it just depends
Some
on
of them have been okay.
Again, and I love
Lauren.
Yes.
Right.
And I have to say that every time now because I agree 100%, and I love that she said that it's what you do with it. It's how how
And
you.
Lauren does a fabulous job.
And to follow Deborah Adair, who was. Did you watch when Deborah Adair was on?
Yes.
Like. I lived for Deborah. I was so upset.
Deborah Adair was like
when
my
she was
favorite
leaving.
at the
I was like,
time.
what?
One of them, yeah.
And so for me to embrace Lauren Kozlow as
took
much
a
as I
lot.
did from the beginning, and I was there right from the beginning. Like I stepped right in.
Right.
Like, okay, I like you. I like
Lauren
you.
might be the exception to that rule.
Yeah.
Not that she was better than Deborah, but
No,
she
just different.
Right.
But I liked them both for their own ways.
But like, remember when they replaced Missy Reeves for a little bit.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
That wasn't the same.
Disaster.
And when they replaced Jack,
That
not
would
the
have been the
same.
disaster.
Well, actually, that's actually when I started watching Days. Like, I wasn't familiar with Missy Reeves and Matthew Asher. I was familiar with the other girl who played Jennifer, and I don't know her name, and Mark Valley.
Mark Valley.
Jack. So,
And I loved Mark Valley, and I loved Mark on Days, but Mark wasn't Jack to me. Like
It's not.
no,
There's only been one Jack.
there's been 3.
no, but he's saying there's no one who
Oh,
can.
he knows.
But there's been
No, there's only been one. And there's only been one Chad DeMira.
there's been 2.
Billy Flynn.
And Casey
Matthew
Diedrich.
Ashford.
And we actually interviewed Casey Diedrich in the Spotlight On, and you can see that right here on AfterBuzz TV, along with our other Spotlight Ons.
Billy, don't worry, I didn't go. I was in protest. I was picketing out front.
So that's been our 3 major storylines.
Those are
So
the
let's
3 major
get into
ones.
some tidbits. So starting with Sean, Belle, and Philip.
Okay, let's talk about Philip, because you had something to say about Philip. I was living for it. I just thought... he makes me smile. He generally makes me smile, no matter what he's doing. I know that he's kooky and quirky, and which the other Phillips never were.
No.
But I friggin' love it.
Yep.
I love it.
I do too, and I thought, because I really think that actors tend to overdo it playing drunk, I thought he hit the nail on the head.
He
didn't
probably was drunk. I'm gonna.
And you
I'm
know
gonna
what?
put that out there.
I'm okay with that because
Yeah.
it was awesome.
It was awesome.
He was so good.
When he yelled when Lucas and Kate were talking, they said, and he was like, "Bah!" or did
Yeah.
something. I almost peed myself. I was like, I wanted that to be my quote of the week.
I thought the kiss with Belle was awesome. I loved the moment when Sean came back into the room and
threw
he
him out.
dragged him out. That there was, you could feel the tension.
Yeah.
I just thought it was great acting
Yeah.
for all 3 of them.
It's great. But now, okay, so once again, they built it up to where, like, oh, Belle is over, Philip. It's all about Sean, blah, blah, blah. But then there was that moment during that kiss where it was like...
Well, and she even
Oh,
had
now
the
she's
moment
having a
after
dream.
sex.
That's
right.
When she walked out and looked out
And
the
was
window
standing,
and was remembering.
But then she,
Yeah.
right, yep.
It's like, girl, are you still conflicted?
But see, that's another one where I'm like, I'm happy with either. I really do like her with both people for different reasons.
I didn't like her with Philip up until she got back together with Sean. And now I'm like, ooh, I love both of these. Like, it's just so good.
I love it. I'm
Something
so
that
mad that they're
Martha said when
leaving.
she was in the studio was how John Paul is a little kooky and he's a little quirky, and
Yeah.
and typically Philip is always just like the
Been
straight guy.
straight-laced and like...
I heard it that what you see of Philip is basically John Paul.
Right. And I think
Yeah.
John Paul does that. I think John Paul did that on One Life to Live as Rex.
Oh, really?
He's fun. Yeah. I think he's fun, and I think he
didn't watch
makes...
it, but yeah.
makes the character
I'm
fun.
I'm 100% behind it. I like him, and but I do like seeing Belle and Sean together. It's I find myself smiling at that too, and like, oh, this is what I loved, you know, da da da. I don't know. I don't know why they have to get rid of him. I'm gonna keep protesting that.
Yeah. Well, hashtag bring whatever back, because you know our hashtags work sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bring Martha back.
Yes. All
Because
right.
I think Brandon's still on. He continues on the show randomly after, because his contract was after hers, so he stays on a little bit longer than she does. But yeah, it's frustrating.
Yeah.
But maybe because if they can shorten it down, you know, the taping schedule, and they hear what we say, so tweet them. NBC. Tweet them, let them know.
At
Opinion.
NBC Days.
At NBC Days.
At Matthew Evan Paine.
Yeah. So, didn't we already talk about... Oh, no, we didn't.
About Rafe.
No, that was your poll. But go ahead, yeah. That's the next.
So, Rafe, Blanca, Hope, and Aiden. How are we feeling about the development of their storylines?
But I feel like we have to add another word, and another person into that.
Dario?
Yes.
Yes.
Because...
You're right.
Are you with... I'm like, oh, is she
There
with
was
Dario, or is she going to be with Rafe?
Well, there was kind of a change, because when they first interacted with each other last week, she was not feeling Dario.
Right.
She was
See, I
like,
disagreed. I think she knew what he was doing, and she was onto it, because I said that, like, I think that there's a chance for a relationship between Rafe and Blanca, but I definitely think sex between Blanca and Dario is going to happen first.
yeah, but dear Liza, here lies Matthew Evan Paine. Liza Minnelli lies.
Sorry?
Liza
okay.
Minnelli lies.
I feel like she she was a little annoyed, like the younger, immature person kind of like staring and gawking and being like, ugh,
I think
like
she
I'm
liked
too pretty
it.
for you.
I think she liked it.
And then this week is a complete change. Like, they interact great. If this interaction was last week, I totally would have bought what you said. But because what I saw last week, I was just kind of like, yeah, she's not feeling it. But this week is different. I get that. And they're definitely pushing for Blanca and Rafe to do something together. I don't know what that is. And I'm sorry, I was all about Hayden. I can't this week because both of them having dreams about what happened is like, just let it go. Just be like Elsa and let it go.
I actually thought the exact same thing this week. I was just like, as much as a Hayden fan as I am,
yeah.
I really
doesn't
think
work.
that it got ruined with that twist to the storyline.
Yeah.
And had they just kept them the way, it's just going to be hard to get back where they were prior to the attack.
Yeah,
The attempted murder.
Because she keeps remembering the wedding night, and it first starts out all beautiful, and they're under the sheets, and the sheets are just going, and they're all this, that, and then all of a sudden it's, you tried to kill me.
Yeah.
Like, no, like, just let it go. Just be happy somewhere else.
But I don't know. But I'm, I could care less about Rafe and Hope too. So.
Yeah.
We need to find a new love interest for Hope.
Or
maybe
not.
she could take a break.
Or not.
Right.
Well, so everyone keeps saying bring
Jack back.
More like bring Bo back?
No, well, you can't bring Bo back, but you can bring Jack back. And I was thinking the other day,
But
like
see,
I love.
you can bring Bo back.
You can't bring Bo
You
back.
can.
He had
It's
a
a
brain
soap opera.
tumor.
It's a soap opera. They've brought people back before they can do it again.
But they're not going to. That's unheard of.
No, it's not. It is. Whatever. And now I think that's it because we talked about the Maggie Victor. Should we jump into segments?
Well, it's now time for our segments,
guess.
which is our favorite part of the show. And we're going to start with mine, which is Tony's official 3 Snaps Award. Now, I normally give it to, all different types of people for various reasons, but today I'm going to be very selfish. You know why? Because on Thursday's episode of Days of Our Lives, there was #Maxine's son lurking in the back, and I look good, so therefore the 3 Snaps Award goes to me, because I was in the back just chilling and doing all kinds of stuff back there behind Lucas.
I didn't even see you.
Is that
Well,
you?
but
Yeah.
I'm so into Brian DeTillo, I wasn't really looking behind.
Yeah, that's fine. But yeah, that's me. But my favorite picture is this next picture, which is. So I'm
sipping tea,
looking
side-eye.
around, being nosy. So yeah, so for working it in Horton Town Square, the official 3 Snaps Award goes to me. That's right, people. Oh, snap!
Well, you didn't get my quote of the week because you didn't have any lines.
No. Although, if you watch that episode, I was having a very good conversation with someone.
But maybe you're Matt's disaster.
Wouldn't that be funny?
Can you leave that picture up?
And speaking
I wish we would have thought to do that.
lies, it's now time for the disaster moment of the week.
Okay, so this disaster moment of the week, I told Mark before you got here that I need help with this because I don't know, there were 2 things I hated about this shot right here. When I saw it, I kind of had a visceral reaction. The gun that's in John's holster
you showed it to me.
looks like it's the size of a rifle. I mean,
Oh my God.
am I right?
Yes.
That's not his gun.
That's well.
I was like,
I can't see what that is.
I was like, hello,
Oh,
John
Mark.
Black. Bang, bang. No, but it's the
called
biggest
John
gun
Black
ever.
for a reason.
And then
Oh, stop.
the second thing I that made me want to scream was the fact that they are in a hotel room at the Salem Inn with a
redecorated.
desk.
Yeah.
It's just,
It's
like
the
a full
business
couch
center.
and a desk.
it's supposed to be his office. He was like, thank you for coming to see me here. And it's like, why are you in the hotel? It bothered me on so many levels. So, you get a 2 for, ladies and gentlemen, John's rifle and the
reasons
fact
why.
that it was in Salem Inn.
Yeah.
Well, we're all about 2 first, and that has been Matthew's disaster moment of the week. And now it's time for Mark's quote of the week.
Okay, so like I said, I had a little tough time, but there was something that actually made me laugh out loud. Was when Kate and Lucas were talking, and they were tired about what was going on with Victor, and then Kate said, "Well, let's change the subject." He says, "Oh, okay. I've got some good news. I got engaged." I love that she was like, "Adrian," and he says, "Yes, Adrian. I got engaged." And she said, "Well, that's lovely. Congratulations." And then went to texting it, and Lucas says, "One more time, please, with feeling." I did laugh out loud, so I had to give it to Lucas for that one, because it was kind of hysterical.
And then keeping that scene going, I loved when, I can't remember what Kate said, but then Drunk Philip came in and was
that's when, yeah, that was, I said, I wanted to give it to him just for that, because it was hysterical, but that was yes, Lucas gets my quote of the week for one more time with feeling.
And that has been Mark.
There it is.
Quote of the week. And now it's time for Fan of the Week.
Fan of the Week I actually got from the YouTube when we were interviewing
Mr. Vincent.
Vincent, I do believe it was that thing. And I don't I delete my quotes of the week after, and I replace them with the new one, so I don't remember what my quote of the week was that week. But I'm giving it to 44 Blue Skies because she or he commented that they were upset with my quote of the week. They thought it should be something else. And they wrote, "How did you not mention Mama Hernandez's quote of the week when she said," and I missed this completely, when she said, "You don't have a love life. You have a skinny detective who leads you around by the nose."
That was a good one.
She said, "I had to rewatch it so many times. Love her." So I'm sorry, 44 Blue Skies, for that, you get Fan of the Week.
And that has been Fan of the Week for this week. And now let's go on to some news and gossip.
AfterBuzz TV News.
All right, so first of all, we want to... I just read this, and apparently Drake Hogestyn... Is that how you pronounce his last name?
I did not see that.
Yeah, he hasn't been on the show for a while. Apparently, he had an accident that caused some internal bleeding, so he's recovering from that right now. So we just want to send our thoughts and prayers out to Drake for a speedy recovery so that John can make his return to Salem. Yeah, there was some accident that it wasn't on set, but it was at his house, and it caused some internal bleeding, so he's recovering from that. So,
wishing him a speedy recovery, absolutely.
Yeah.
And Sean Christian, also known as Mark J Freeman's real love, Dr. Daniel Jonas, stars in a new film called Savannah Sunrise, which is a comedic take on how a family gets their grandmother to a retirement home in Savannah, Georgia. The film can be seen today on the INSP channel. Check local listings. Sean Christian will also appear in a Lifetime movie premiering July 9th called Hidden Truth, where a good guy shows his dark side when a young girl is murdered. Be sure to check that out as well.
I'll be sure to
Sean
set my
Christian
VCR.
is just busy.
He's a busy bee.
I'm happy for him.
Who are you happy for?
One more time with feeling.
Sean Christian.
Who did he play on Days? Just to refresh my memory.
Are you ready, Alexis?
Well, who did he play, Mark?
When Alexis tells me she's ready, I'll say it.
But I think you should just say it.
Daniel Jonas. All right. So
Bless your heart, Alexis.
Next. Don't forget, it's coming up. I know I had to look the other day. I was like, I knew I'd got my new passport, but I was like, where did I put it? So I found the other day because I definitely need it to get to Toronto for July 23rd. The Cruise for a Cause. I'll be joining Robert Scott Wilson. I always pause when I say
Belly Flynn.
Robert Scott, I save him for last. Robert
Belly
Scott Wilson,
Flynn.
Eric Martzoff, and
Belly Flynn.
It's going to be a fun cruise. I'm excited. It's going to be a cruise.
Who are you most excited to see?
I mean, I think that goes without saying.
But go ahead and say it.
Belly Flynn.
I would love for Mike Riley to go, just so you can.
How do you know he's not?
I would welcome Mike Riley to go. I would welcome him to go.
Cat fight on the open water.
We'll do a little stopwatch and see who spends more time with Billy.
Do you have cat like that?
Ridiculous. Oh my God, if that happened, Yes.
Somebody from
I missed it. What did you say?
I said we should have stopwatches to see who spends more time with Billy on the cruise then.
Do you have-
I'm down with that challenge,
programming.
Mike Riley.
Alexis, do you have like a meow, like the cat's going at
I
it
think
sound?
so,
That's a good one, yeah.
I know I have this right now.
Well, while you're looking for that, oh, there we go. Tickets include a 5-hour cruise, luncheon, meet and greet with the actors and me, Q&A, live auctions, and professional photos sponsored by photographer Red Suitcase Photography. Visit daytimestarsevents.com if you want to come join us, because I think it'll be a hoot.
Yay.
And help them make the difference.
Yes. Yeah.
Days of Our Lives executive producer Ken Corday will receive his own star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. We here at Dish and Days would like to congratulate Ken on this huge honor. Congratulations, Ken.
Congratulations. And since Chandler Massey brought us his Emmy, I think you should bring us your star.
That'll happen.
I don't think we're asking for too much.
You know what I thought? Speaking of, I totally thought that for some reason that Deidre was gonna bring us the little replicas of her star. When she was
that would
here.
have been fantastic.
I would have giggled.
Yeah.
It's not too late, Deidre.
This is
Still not
true.
too late. Still not too late.
All right, so before we get into predictions, because sometimes we have them or we tell them throughout the show, so yeah. I did a poll on our Dish and Days Twitter to find out who has the better dance montage. Was it Aiden and Hope or Rafe and Blanca? We had 110 votes, and it was very close, but 54% said that they liked the Aiden and Hope dance montage better.
Aiden and Hopes?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's never going away now,
No,
Tony.
never gonna go away. And now let's get into some predictions.
Well,
I feel like the lights cheat on me when that happens.
right? I will restate mine from earlier that I think that Jen Lilly is sick. Something's happening to her that's leading into her exit from the show. I don't think she's gonna die, but I think it's going to be something that's gonna take her away.
Okay.
That's my prediction. And I predict that Jack will come back.
You always predict that Jack
If
will
Jack
come
can
back.
come back, so can Bo, Mark.
No, he can't.
Yes, he can.
He had his brain exploded. I think that was the literal translation. His brain
Is that
exploded.
the scientific term?
Yes, that's what I was thinking. Thank you, Alexis.
All right. Well, you know me. I'm just gonna be a fan with open arms and just wait and see what happens.
No
What
predictions?
was that, Tony? What was that? You were gonna be what?
I'm just gonna be a fan with open arms and just see what happens.
That's gonna be your your noise every time you say that you're.
Oh wait. Let me do it better.
Alright.
Very much like the morning news. Well, you know, guys, I'm just going to be a fan with open arms and just see what happens.
I had to do it.
I like that.
Matthew?
Matthew, prediction?
I think that Paul will go to work and be trained by John.
Yeah.
And my hope, I don't know if it's a prediction, but my hope is that he has a meltdown and that he becomes bad Paul. I've been waiting for it.
that thing happened.
Well,
I don't think it's gonna happen.
I hope he
Sorry about
I hope he goes back to Henry and says, you know what, I will take that date.
Yeah, I want Henry back.
We need to write a wish list
I
and send
think
it in.
I was just gonna say. Here's what I think we should do for our show. I think we should write our ideal cast.
Starting
Like
with
Billy
Maxine
Flynn.
Sun.
Who we want, like the major players
Maxine Sun.
of, if you were writing for days, these would be your,
Maxine Sun.
yeah. Billy will be somewhere on my list.
Oh,
I'm not
Lord.
sure where.
First.
He will be
He will be first. We all know he's going to
actually,
be first.
mine might be retitled "The Days of Billy's Life."
Oh boy. All right, well, that has been your week of Days of Our Lives. Thank you guys for joining us here on AfterBuzz TV's Dish and Days. Before we head out, though, one quick announcement. This is our Sunday soap block, so make sure you tune in starting with us every Sunday at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for a recap of Dish and Days, followed by a full recap of General Hospital, followed by another full recap of Young and the Restless, and then followed by another full recap of Bold and the Beautiful. So that's your Sunday soap block.
lot of recaps.
A lot of
Lots
recaps.
of soap.
Yeah, and today on the GH Report, following this show, they have special guest Perry Chin.
Oh, okay.
I think I pronounced his name right.
Oh, Lucas' husband on
Perfect.
General Hospital. That's fun.
Okay. And so now before we go and pack up, Mark, why don't you tell the folks where they can find you and Billy Flynn
Or
late at night
pack
at
up
2
and then
a.m.?
tell them.
You can find me and Billy Flynn on my Twitter. I don't want to bother him. At Lorraine Love, LORAYNE on Instagram and Twitter. And you can follow me. I have fan pages on Facebook, Mark J Freeman and Lorraine Love. Either one.
He's just as much fun as you can imagine.
And Snapchat, Lorraine.love.
Oh.
But I don't snap that much. But sometimes I do.
Get it together, lady.
Get it together!
Matthew?
And you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Matthew E. Paine. Such a good Sunday.
And of course, you guys can find me on all social media platforms at Lounging with Tony or my website, loungingwithtony.com. And don't forget to follow us on our social media, Dishin Days, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Thank you, Mark, for pantomiming it as if you are a puppet.
As if you were a puppet.
Have a good day, everyone.
Thanks, you guys. We'll see you next
Do
Sunday.
my parrot the whole episode.
Oh, no, you're fine. Thank you
you're
so
fine.
much. We'll see you next Sunday
you
for
so much.
another full recap of Days of Our Lives right here on AfterBuzz
Right
TV's
here on AfterBuzz
Dishin Days.
TV's Dishin Days.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.